next presentation is our Electric Director, Glenn Fisher, is going to give us a choice smart meter implementation update.
Yes. Mayor, Council, thank you for having me here tonight. If you'll bear with me 1 minute, I've got some show and tell to do in a minute. First of all, I want to kind of start off by talking about our Smart Choice program. And that's all I got. Basically, Smart Choice is a joint effort by our water and electric utilities to begin an implementation of smart meters throughout our systems. And the installation of the smart meters is really the first step, and it's really the first customer-facing step that they're going to see in this process. We've been working behind the scenes, city staff has, trying to get everything in order, get all the interfaces between our various software platforms in place so we can move to this step. And I kind of wanted to give you an idea of where we are, a little bit of history on it, and then talk about some of the public outreach we plan to do. And when I say smart meters, the first thing I want to emphasize is I don't like that term. These meters are not smart. They record the exact same usage information that our current meters record. The only difference between this and a standard meter, and this is the water register that we'll be using, is that there's a radio in it. And the radio will communicate that information back twice a day so that we can present that information the previous day's hourly usage to our customers. So our customer can look at their usage in a more timely manner and make decisions about how they want to use their electricity. And so with that, let's talk about the why. And it really comes down to the data. As I mentioned, that data is coming across twice a day so that it is presented to the customer in a more timely manner. The customer can look at their previous day's hourly usage, and as they build up a historical usage, they can go back and look at that for long term. So if they make an improvement in their house, more insulation, windows, things like that, they can see the impact on their usage. If they turn on a sprinkler system, they can see how much the sprinkler system is using at any given time. So there's a lot of things that the customer can use that information for. And as I mentioned, this is just the first step. In this portal for the previous day's usage, we're looking at September timeframe for that to become live so that the customers will be able to use that at that time once they get a meter installed on their house or at their business. And then there are a lot of future programs and services that we want to be able to offer in the future. I think everyone's familiar with OG&E Smart Hours program with their peak pricing, time of use pricing. We want to be able to do the same thing with our electric utility, offer a lot of the different packages to our customer. From the water and electric standpoint, it really helps us operate our system more efficiently. It gives us a lot more data to be able to use to look at what parts of our system are working correctly, what parts we need to beef up. For us, it's like transformer sizing, because if we put too large of a transformer in there, there's losses on our system, and it's capital that we put in the ground that we're not using. So we want to use that data to better operate our system and right-size equipment. Plus, it'll allow us to analyze our system better so that we know how our system is operating. There are a lot of alarms and alerts that the meters will provide us. Everything from outage alerts. If the power goes out, we'll know about it. Right now, we rely upon customer calls to give us that information. We can be more proactive on outages. Same thing with restorations. We'll know when those customers are back up. If there's voltage issues, if there's a water leak, we'll see a continuous flow. We can alert the customers, say, hey, you may want to check out what's going on. You might have an issue. So we can be a lot more proactive in how we treat our customers. So a little bit of history. The major components of the system were approved by council back in October 2019. At that time, we estimated that to be about just under $11 million. That was split equally between water and electric, and that's all revenue funded. There's no debt service associated with that. There was no impact on rates. We didn't have to raise rates to cover this cost. It all came from existing revenue streams. In addition, at that council meeting, we knew sometime or another we were going to get into the meter installation stage. As I mentioned, there's a lot of interfaces that had to be done between our existing software platforms and the new systems we were bringing online. So at that time, we estimated that on top of that $11 million, there would be an additional $5 million for these meter installs. And so we went out for an RFP, and a contract with Utility Partners of America was approved this past January. And the good thing about that is it came in at $3 million. So we were $2 million under our estimate, so yay. We split that between water and electric as well. Same thing, revenue funded, no debt associated with it, no impact on rates because of that revenue stream. And we are expecting right now, talking with UPA, we're working with them to develop that long-term schedule for installations. We're expecting those to begin in June of this year. We expect this to be about an 18-month to 2-year project to complete that rollout of all those meters. We have 42,000 electric and 38,000 water registers to change out, so it will be very intense during that time frame, but we're still looking at that 18 months to 2-year process. So of course, we're going to be doing a bunch of outreach to let the customers know what's going on. We have a short 30-second video that kind of outlines the whole program that's going out on a bunch of different streaming services. Bill Begley is working on that. We have, of course, all of our social media platforms. We are already starting to push things out. Our website, I don't know if that's actually live now, but depending upon your comments tonight, we'll probably make it live tomorrow. And that's going to provide a lot of information on the program. Speaking engagements, I've already lined up several to go out to talk to different groups throughout the community. I will say that if there's anybody out there in the public who would like for me to come out and talk to them about the program, I'd be more than happy to do that. Just contact Edmond Electric and we can arrange a date for that. We have a postcard with a QR code that we're going to have out there. So this is in your backup material, and that will point you to the website. It just has a very brief description of the program, and then it will direct you to the website when you use that QR code. And then, of course, Utility Partners of America, our meter installer, is also looking at various avenues to work with the customers. First of all, they will have a 24/7 call center that will deal with installation, so the customers can call UPA and get information about the installs themselves. If there's a question about billing or anything like that, they'll be redirected back to our utility customer service department to handle. But it gives the customer an avenue to check on the progress of the rollout. UPA will be sending a notification letter out approximately 2 to 4 weeks before they hit a certain area, so we will be notifying the customer before UPA gets there about the change out. It contains a bunch of background information about what's going to happen and the steps associated with it. There's a door hanger that UPA the representative will, when they come to your house, will have available to the homeowner. If the homeowner's not present, they'll leave it on the door. And finally, there's some informational videos about the whole process for the installation. And if I can figure out how to spell
Edmond Electric and Water Resources are partnering together to install smart choice meters throughout the community. The city is using Utility Partners of America, or UPA, to conduct the installation of both water and electric smart meters. Smart Choice meters offer residents many benefits like automatic meter readings, more accurate billing, better reliability, and automatic electric outage notifications. In other words, Smart Choice meters will bring our grid system to the 21st century. This video will take you through the installation process from start to finish. First, you will receive a notification letter in the mail 2 to 4 weeks prior to the installation. This letter will contain important information on how to make the installation go quickly and smoothly, along with general information about the installers who will be in your area. Working hours for the UPA installers is Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. through 5 p.m. On the day of the install, a UPA technician will arrive in a marked vehicle. They will wear a proper UPA badge that is visibly displayed. Before making the upgrade, they will knock on your door. If you're home, they'll let you know about the installation and provide important information about the Smart Choice meters. You do not have to be home, however, for the installation to occur. If you are not home, a door hanger is left for you, informing you that a UPA meter installer came by while you were away. Before replacing the water and electric meter, the UPA worker will take photos of the meter sites before and after to ensure the process is performed correctly and to track any issues. The total installation process for both meters should take about 30 minutes to accomplish. If only the electric meter is being installed, then it should take about 15 minutes or less. Electric service will be disrupted for a short period of time as the installation occurs, but water service should not be affected. Here is the electric meter changeout process. The meter installer will first take a photo of the overall site as found. Then the installer will verify that the meter number matches those in our records for that address. Once confirmed, the installer will record and take a picture of the current meter number before removing the existing meter. If there are any discrepancies, then that meter will not be changed out. Once removed, the installer will take a picture of the inside of the meter socket. If there are any hazards, UPA will immediately notify Edmond Electric and remain on site until an Edmond Electric representative arrives. Then the household will be made aware and provided the next steps, since any meters which pose a safety or fire hazard cannot be re-energized. If there are no hazards, UPA will then log the GPS coordinates for the meter. The installer will record and take a picture of the serial number of the newly installed meter, which will show that new serial number and reading. At the end of installation, the UPA installer will take the last and final photo of the worksite as they left it. Here is the water meter changeout process. First, the UPA installer will take a photo of the site. Then they will locate the meter valve position and take a photo. They will also take a photo of the lot meter and meter number. Next, they will locate, record, and take a photo of the radio number and current read. They will capture the GPS coordinates for the location of the water meter. Next, they will record the new installation type, then take a photo of the new meter number, new radio number, and left valve position. Finally, a photo of the site as they left it will be taken. If access to one of the meters cannot be accomplished, the UPA representative will let you know about the problem either in person or as a notation on the UPA door hanger. Special arrangements will need to be made to perform the meter exchange on a later date through the contact provided by the installer or on the door hanger. To learn more about Smart Choice meters and the installation process, please visit edmondok.gov/Smart Choice.
I'll point out the irony of that is that the changeout was at my house. He actually had to pull my existing meter because I've had one installed, a smart meter installed in my house in 2020, and stab an old meter on there. So in that video, it did talk about 30 minutes for both water and electric changeout, 15 minutes for electric only. That's a worst-case scenario. It's pretty simple to pull the electric meter, which of course does disrupt service. For the water, it's really a register changeout. I don't know how many of y'all are familiar with water meters, but it's not this easy to take off in real life. But this is the water meter. This stays in the ground. That's why we talk about there's no disruption to service at all. All they're changing out is the register that goes on top of this meter, so that's why there's no disruption to service. But because we do have to pull the electric meter, it will disrupt service. It's probably going to be for 2 minutes or less, what I expect on average. And I know the focus in the video was for residential. The commercial changeout process is exactly the same. The customer will receive a letter, we'll work with them. For our key accounts, our large customers, we actually plan to do those in-house. Edmond Electric staff will be changing those out so we can coordinate with them as far as the time. We don't want to cause a production issue or anything like that, so we will be working with those particular customers to change those out. So with that, if there are any questions?
No, I'm good.
Glenn, can you talk about how does this compare to our neighboring communities? Are we kind of trendsetter? Are we catching up? What's the
We are very much playing catch-up. Across the state of Oklahoma, 82% of the meters, electric meters in Oklahoma are already smart meters. I would suspect it's probably around 50 to 60% for water meters. Our biggest entity around us, OG&E, completed their project in 2013 of 850,000 meters. PSO has 500,000 meters in Oklahoma. They finished their change out in 2016. So as you can see by those dates, we are behind the time. In OMPA, there's 42 members in OMPA, Oklahoma Municipal Power Authority, which Edmond is one of the members. 21 of those already have their systems changed over. So we are playing catch up. Most people, when they think of an electric meter, think of the dials and the spinning disc. I refer to those as the rotary phones of the metering world, because how many has a rotary phone at their house? Probably nobody. So we're trying to catch up.
So if I can follow up one additional question, so on new development that's happening, let's say tomorrow, are they installing this new technology, or are we gonna have to?
Any new services since, I'm going to say, I don't remember when we got the first shipment of meters in, but any new service, we've been putting in the new meter on there. So anything new, it has it already.
Thanks.
Right. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thanks so much.